Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nostalgic Gamers Club here exclusively on the internet. My name's Zach, and I just love old video games. So if you like old video games and you feel like, reliving a little bit of history, welcome. I'm freaking glad to have you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Need for Speed Underground. We're looking at the PS2 version, which apparently I got from GameStop for, I'm guessing, $14.99. I don't know. Old me tried to tear that tag off. But we're going to be looking at the front cover, the back cover. We're going to be looking at the instruction booklet and the disc itself, as well as a little bit of gameplay. So, spoiler alert, I suck at racing games, so the gameplay is underwhelming, but still nostalgic. So, Need for Speed Underground came out on November 17th, 2003. It is produced by EA Games. It came out for GameCube, PS2, Windows, Xbox, Game Boy Advance, and the other platform listed on Wikipedia is arcade, although I've never actually seen this in arcades personally, but that, clearly it was there though. But I don't really honestly see the point in playing this in an arcade because half of the fun of the Need for Speed franchise, in my opinion, is customizing your car and really kind of building your dream car and leveling it up and getting to a point where you're just like, too fast, too furious, if I do say so myself. This game's soundtrack was honestly one of the best pieces of this game. Unfortunately, I did have to mute it for a good chunk of the gameplay, but we had stuff by Static X, by Rob Zombie, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. I mean, there was just a lot of really great music in this game, and that's something that I feel like games of this era really had. I feel like games from this day and age don't have music from your typical sort of pop artists. It's a lot of times things that are just composed for the game itself, which is great, and it gives a very specific vibe to a game. And I understand why they do that, because it's harder to license music these days. But it's just so cool to dig back into an old game like this and just hear that amazing soundtrack. I mean, it was like the Tony Hawk games, you name it. I mean, there was a lot of really great games around this time that had just those killer soundtracks. ATV Off-Road Fury is another one that we covered on this channel that you can check out here, that also has a really, really great soundtrack that just honestly featured a lot of music from that era. So taking a look at the front cover here, and please note, I'm not a car guy, but I did love this game, and I loved customizing the cars regardless. We see up top, Need for Speed Underground. We have just this beautiful orange car, maybe like a reddish orange. And this was really cool, especially for this time, seeing this reflection in the 3D render around the wheel well. That was cool. I mean, that really made it look extra polished, extra shiny. We do have some decals and sort of sponsor-looking things going on here on the side. Going over to the back, we got this kind of angry-looking lady with some tattoos. I don't know why she's so angry. Maybe she's one of the drivers. This looks like this might be a key fob in her hand. But up here at the top, it says, highly tuned for intense speed. Unlimited customization, and we see just kind of a decked-out car there. Intense head-to-head competition. Unbelievable sense of speed. They did a good job with that. I feel like they did a really good job with the sense of speed. And then introducing drift, slide with style. And each of these is just either a screenshot from the game, like in the Unbelievable Sense of Speed one, or it looks like sort of an enhanced screen grab where, the car is kind of popping out of the frame a little bit. These graphics are definitely better than the graphics that were actually in the game. I don't recall if there was a photo mode in the game. We might find out when we go through the instruction booklet, but if there was, this is definitely from that photo mode. Down here it says 20 of the world's hottest tuner cars. Honda, Nissan, Toyota, Mitsubishi, and more. Unlock hundreds of authentic aftermarket parts, body kits, vinyl kits, wheels, turbo, nitrous, and more. Drift, drag, and circuit modes, plus all-out fuel-injected online racing. Hot EA Games tracks include... I'm going to sneeze. Oh, no. Oh, seasonal allergies. Hot EA Games tracks including Mystical, Crystal Method, Rancid, Overseer, Rob Zombie, and PD Pablo. And down here it says we have 1 to 2 players, only 140 kilobytes on the PS2 memory card. Analog control, vibration function, pressure sensitive. It did have online play. And then here it says network adapter for PS2, 2 to 4 players. Diving into the game itself, let's pull this disc out of here. Not anything too out of the ordinary here, honestly. It's just the Need for Speed Underground logo with a city in the background. My copy is kind of scratched to hell, which did actually result in a little bit of stuttering with the gameplay, but that's all right. That happens in the old disc era. These days, everything's online. I don't know why I'm sounding like a crotchety old man here. Getting into the instruction booklet, of course, the front cover here is the same as the front cover on the art. We have our contents, our getting started and command reference. On this screen, we have our controls for the game. So just your basic shifting up and down, your handbrake, your nitrous, if you need to reset your car, steering, throttle, etc. And I do think it's interesting. This is still in the age when these games were controlled with the X button for throttle. I feel like every modern racing game I play, it's R2 or whatever the equivalent of R2 is for hitting the gas. Just an interesting relic of the past. I'm very curious as to when that changed. If you know what game sort of changed that and set that precedence, please let me know, because I like R2 a lot better. It says, welcome to the Underground. It gives you a little bit of a story here, how to set up the game, a little brief intro as to customize your car, selecting it, getting the make and model, etc., the basics of customization, what your reputation means, visual mods, performance mods, because some mods were just for the look of it. Some were just aesthetic. And then others were able to help you improve the performance of your vehicle. Just what's in the options menu, drive yourself crazy. You can drive like your dad when you get old. It says you can drive like your dad when you get old, but now's the time to drive like your reputation depends on it, because it does. My dad drives like a crazy person sometimes, so I feel like, those sentences could apply at the same time for me. As always, feel free to pause on any of these screens to look a little bit more in depth. It does talk a little bit about the underground racing scheme. It says underground racing is not a one-night stand. It's a challenging series of races that require dedication and skill. Completing underground challenges unlocks visual and performance car modifications, as well as decals that go with them. They did have a split screen racing mode, which is amazing. Like, who doesn't love racing your buddy? Just couch co-op. I guess couch head-to-head at that point. Talks about the different race modes. So there was circuit, sprint, drag, drift, lap knockout, free run, and tournament, which it says here was underground mode only. There's a little bit here about the online network configurations if you wanted to play online. Back when you had to really maneuver a lot of things, like this is saying, if you're playing behind a firewall, you have to manually open up this port and go from here. It's kind of nuts what went into online gaming at the time. More here on setting up your online game. There's a lot here. Wow. Saving and loading. We have our little 90-day warranty. And then there's a few notes pages here. This is just that's filler. This is our notes pages here for anyone who took notes. I don't know how you would really take notes on these jet black pages, but that's not for me to figure out. I'm not a scientist, okay? Not a scientist. Here it says, get EA cheat codes and game hints. Register your online game right now at at eagamereg.com. And in case anybody wants to register this copy of the game, my access code is 14702. So there's that, because I'm not going to register this. And let's see what we got on the back cover here. Hell yeah, we got an ad. This is funny timing, because my last video was on SSX Tricky, and this is an ad for SSX 3, which looks a lot better than SSX Tricky graphically, at very least. It says in stores now, and it looks like just a couple screen grabs. I think that's Elise doing a little board grab there. That can't be safe. That's got to be dangerous. We got a giant hill with maybe a little avalanche going on there, and then just some dude doing a trick. That rips. I love the SSX series. I played SSX 3 at one point. I just don't honestly remember where I played it. But, without further ado, guys, why don't we dive into a little bit of gameplay here? And once that gameplay wraps up, I'll see you back here. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Well, that's not right. Oh, we just get that one little quick clip. There we go. There's another one. There's another one.
My name is Mark DeVellis, and I race in the Toyota Atlantic Series. I work with the team at EA, tuning the cars for Need for Speed Underground. I may push
Hell yeah.
on the track, but off it, I drive safely and responsibly. Save the racing for the track, and if you feel a need for speed, just play Underground.
All right. That was good. Thank you. Thank you for that. I remember just how incredible these graphics were. I mean, out of this world. Customizing your car. 100% going to get a copyright strike on this game because I don't think I have the heart to turn off the music. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, the memories. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, get low. All right. No, we don't need to create a profile. We're just going to do a quick race here. Okay, I'm definitely going to get copyright flagged for this, so I'm going to turn the music off. I have to turn the music off. I'm just going to turn it really low. I got to turn it off. That stinks. Oh, that stinks. Okay. You guys, I want to have it on. Let's go. Let's get a little Mazda Miata going on here. Oh, definitely auto transmission. I just kind of want to dive into a race and see what's up. Now, this was the game that I remember spending maybe the most time on the PS2. My brother and I. No, let me start with this. My brother was more into cars than I was, but this game I was really into the customization aspect. So it was cool to, win races and upgrade your car and earn style points to unlock even more rewards. It's just a great game that I don't remember any of the controls for. So we'll see how this pans out. All right, let's go. And honestly, these graphics are not that bad. For a PS2 game, this is not bad. What's my brake here? I don't know what my brake is, so we're just gonna... R1. R1 is brake, okay. But this still kind of holds up graphically anyway. It doesn't look great by any means, but compared to some other games in the PS2 era, I feel like this truly is not that bad. I will say that when I'm using the analog controls, it feels a little clunky. Almost like they just hadn't figured out the analog controls quite yet. The D-pad for this feels a little bit more responsive. Oh, easy now. There we go. There we go. I'm still not doing great. I'm in 4th place. Now, do I have boost? Do I have NAS, as they say? I gotta say, this game, while still fantastic, does lose some of its appeal without the music. But I don't want to toss the music in and not be able to show you guys any of this footage, because YouTube's pretty strict about that, which is unfortunate. This is honestly one of those games, though, that I could see myself just still to this day sitting down and playing for hours and hours and hours and customizing. I've tried some of the... Whoops. Oh, no. I've tried some of the newer Need for Speed games, and they didn't feel quite as nice as these older ones. I mean, Underground for me was kind of the pinnacle. That's where the series peaked for me. I still had a lot of fun with the newer ones, but I didn't feel the need to complete them as much, I guess. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. And man, this is kind of tough for a quick race setup. I mean, given I don't have anything on my vehicle. And I'm just doing a little 2-lap race. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys could really tell. If you're listening with headphones, maybe you could. But when I was going through that tunnel, they did something cool with the sound effects where it almost added a reverb effect. That's just a nice little piece of polish they added in there. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I just don't want to take 4th. You know what I mean? I can handle 3rd. Okay, come on, buddy. This guy's got to get out of my way. Oh, no! What a crash. Oh, man. Yeah, that just blew my lead. That for sure just blew my lead. Wrong way. Oh, no. Oh, no. Turn it around. That guy's dead. That was an accidental. I could have at least taken 3rd on that. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. I think I got to do one more race, right? I got my sea legs now. I got to see if maybe I can at least place at all in any of these races. Style points. We're gonna restart that. We're just gonna try this race one more time. I'm gonna see if I can make this worth my time. Get out of here. All right, we're just gonna gun it. We're just gonna gun it. One thing that I'm noticing is that so far it seems like this game lacks a lot of the nuance that more modern racing games have, where you know, a lot of modern racing games, you kind of have to know when to let off the gas and know when to hit the brake. And this feels kind of like almost like Mario Kart style, like just gun it and run it, like hold down X as hard as you freaking can. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. That was on me. That one's on me. But honestly, I don't mind that style of play. I think it's fun. I mean, it just makes you feel like you're flying through the streets of whatever this looks like, maybe Los Angeles or something. I don't know. I probably could have looked at, you know, the title of the track. But it just, I don't know. It gives you a nice sense of speed. And especially for a game of this era. I mean, this was, like I said, my brother and I would play the Need for Speed games a lot. We would customize the crap out of our cars. And I remember even a handful of years ago, I went over to a buddy's house who he just didn't have any like modern consoles. He had an Xbox 360 was the most recent one that he had. He just wasn't really a gamer. And I mean, given this was like, oh boy, this was like maybe 6 years ago at this point. But still, I went over to his house and he pulled out his Xbox 360 and he pulled out Need for Speed. And it was just like he still played this. This was like still a game that in, you know, whatever it was, 2019, 2017 maybe, it was still relevant, at least for him. And I could totally see this, kind of like the Tony Hawk games being the type of game that you could still pick up and play and have a good time with. It doesn't have to feel super modern to have a good time. Now, I gotta get in front of at least one of these people, right? Like, I can't take fourth twice in a row. Get out of my way. Oh, boy. This guy... No, you're going down now. Yeah. Okay. Now I just can't blow that lead. And I'm not trying to use this as a crutch either, but I'm way close to my screen, and so it's, like, hard to make out where the turns are. It does look great for its age. It looks great, but it's still a little difficult to tell where these turns are. Okay, we can do this. No! You bastard. Oh. All right. Well, you know what? I don't think I'm good enough at this game to live out a rivalry with freaking Kirby and the Lancer, but man, what a trip down memory lane. I mean, just the hours and hours we would spend in this game customizing our cars. I mean, down to the paint and the rims and the tint on the windshield. Just what a blast from the past. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. It gives me a little serotonin boost there. And if you have any recommendations on which game I should cover next, please let me know. And just so you know, I'm not bluffing, I had a viewer recommend that I look at Top Gear Rally, even though I never played it as a kid. And your boy bought a copy of Top Gear Rally, so, you know, that's coming up soon. But I would really love to hear your recommendations on which game I should play next, and what your experience was with Need for Speed Underground as well. I really appreciate you guys watching, and you know what? I hope you have a great day. I hope you go out there for the rest of your day and you have a great one. All right, cool. I'll catch you later. Peace.